Right. Sunday 22nd of February. We've both had about 3 hours kit. I'm sat here with a gentleman called Martin Iveson, aka Atjazz, who's just released his album Starbase 72, which is pretty much your modus operandi. Let me just quickly run through who's on this first. So this is 27 tracks.
Sorry.
After Lab Funk came out, what year was that?
I forgot that. Hold on.
You can have
2001.
So that was a house album, wasn't it?
No, I think it was a difficult album to make. It was a clash of styles really, and I was really into broken beat and stuff at the time, but I just can't leave things alone. So it got quite deep and complex. It had some house on it. It was definitely up tempo, that's for sure. Yeah.
And then you hit us. So we all sit around. We know you for your house music. We know you. Yeah. You've got a 200-foot statue at Cape Town Harbour because of South Africa. How much they worship you over there?
300 foot.
It's 300 foot, is it? Oh, right, it's that's what you tell your wife. Anyway. And then Starbase 17's just come out. I don't know if any of you have heard it, but it's 27 tracks. I'm just going to run past who's on this. Ernesto and the Basement Gospel Choir, Fred Everything, George Becerra, Nathan Haynes, Sir Atjazz, Dwayne Hayden, Audrey Pound, Charisma, Omar, Josh Milan, Osunlade, Clara Hill, Imani, your mentor, Charles Webster, Natasha Watts, the God Kylie Tatham, and some bloke called Max Beasley. I have to say that because of the missus. How on earth did you pull this off? What started this?
Well, there was actually more people on that than on that list actually.
Go on.
I'll go through some more. There's people like some of the other collaborators I've worked with over the years. Amalia. Now I've got Sideshoe, who is my protege, I guess. So there's for me.
The boys.
Yeah, my son Rudy and my son Art. Yeah, they were 9 and 13 when they made the song. I didn't touch any instruments. Rudy's a really good drummer, and Art is a really good keyboard player. So I just recorded them and chopped it up. So they own that track as well because I wanted them to start their career. So they're 10 and 14 now, and they're just about to have their own Apple Music profile and things like that, so they can show off for their mates. But I didn't want. The funny thing is, you've never asked me this question before. I was going to never make another Atjazz album.
Okay.
Because my ego got in the way. I turned into a bit of a fool about it. I was like, no, I'm going to do a Martin Iveson project because that's about me. It's all about me, and having a little bit of a me party. And
but you are Atjazz as well.
Yeah, but I just felt like doing another Atjazz album was just doing another Atjazz album. So I had to do something that made sense to me. So first of all, the album is based on nostalgia for me. It's memories and about my childhood and about what I'm into, sci-fi and stuff like that, music, sound, sound exploration. It also is nostalgic in the way that I've really, rather than go, oh, my first album back in 1998 wasn't very good. I actually wanted to embrace the fact that I did it, and so I used my old albums as inspiration in a way to get some of this music written. It was 17 years after my last album, Full Circle, came out when I started producing this. I grew up in a house number 17, as did my partner Amanda. I was 17 years old and left home and started my professional career, and I just see the number 17 everywhere. 17th toilet cubicle, airports.
It's your lucky number.
Yeah, it basically is my lucky number, and I don't even know why, but it is. It just seems to be that number 17 really resonates with me. So I had, once I'd got the idea that I was happy with, as in, if it's nostalgic and it's about respecting my history in lots of different ways, I can do this. I can actually put my hand down and do this. And I was going to make 17 songs. Whoops. Because then I'd have conversations with people. Imani was in London with Omar and Natasha Watts at a big event, and they were talking about being on my album. And when I saw Imani, she basically told me off, like my mum or something, like, why am I not on your album? I had to write another song. And this is what happened. And I hadn't finished the song with Charles, and Charles was my mentor, so having a song with Charles Webster, another song. and it ended up as 20, especially with the song with Rudy and Art as well. So it ended up as 27 songs in the end. There's actually about 30. I haven't quite finished the other ones, but I had to stop at some point.
So there's going to be a director's cut?
No, there's going to be what I call satellites. So if I do singles, you'll get to hear those other songs that haven't been on the album yet. Yeah.
Almost like Songs in the Key of Life, that 45 you've got, Saturn, which was called Saturn, which goes in with it.
There you go, yeah.
So did you have that in
it relates to the music. The music and the ideas all relate to each other. So having a satellite is also based in space, all this kind of thing, satellite releases. You're going to get stuff that you've not heard before, and it keeps the album interesting and gives it a longer time, to live. I don't want Starbase 17 to just be an album. I'll do another album afterwards. I want to live through this album for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So this is really important for me. This piece.
This is the foundation for the future.
Exactly, and I'm doing an album called The House of Starbase 17, which is just all the house tunes,
brilliant,
all stripped down, some instrumentals, things like that. I'm also doing another album which is called Starbase 17 Spacewalk, which is it's an ambient album, because I'm quite a high stress person and I very much need things to help me relax. And so, chill out music really does that for me, and I want to do that for myself, and also to wrap that into the album. In my imagination, this is the music that the people on Starbase would be listening to in their headsets to stop them going crazy when they're doing spacewalks and cleaning the outside of the Starbase. Stuff like that. So but it's also, again, it's exploration. It's more. So it's a very deep thing, and I'm just going to keep doing the music I'm going to be doing with Starbase 17 for the rest of my life, and go back and keep relating to the album, because it makes the album really important to me.
Yeah.
And to everybody else, who's into it. So yeah, it's not just to release a song and put it out and do another one. Next project, please.
You pretty much got a soul album there as well.
Yeah, exactly. I've been told there's like 2-3 albums there.
Yeah, so easy.
I got told by quite a few people about that. Release it as 2, release it as 3. I was like, no, I'm doing it as 1. I know it's too much, but
Go on, why 27 in one go? Was it 2 hours, 10 minutes?
2 hours and 9 minutes, yeah. It's a bit stupid, really, isn't it? Well, I just, people are saying to me they're biting it in small chunks, and it's really nice. And in that case, they're listening to the songs more deeply, and they're getting into the sound and getting into the atmosphere of the album now.
Yeah.
So I'm making it important. I really am, because I want to put a mark on it. It's not just. It cost me so much money to make, and it took me 6.5 years to make it.
Right.
And you've seen the relationships and I've got relationship with everybody on the album. There's 41 people that have made the album with me.
Wow.
So and I've got a relationship with each one of these people, and that was hard enough to manage, because everybody has different needs, and so it's really important that I just continue this album. I think just continue it forever.
How long have you had some of these relationships? What your longest? Okay, let's start with Charles.
Charles Webster. My longest relationship is with Clyde Beats.
Okay.
They're one of my oldest friends, and we've been making music together for 30 years. Charles Webster took me under his wing. Early on in my career, I would have been about 22, 23, something like that. He didn't really have people going to his studio. He was always marked as, Charles doesn't like people in his studio kind of thing. I was the lucky one who got invited to the studio, and our relationship with music flourished massively. We had a band together.
Is this pre-house?
No, this is house. It was after, around the time that Charles released his Presence album with Sharon Nelson and Sarah J and people like that.
Pagan Records,
and Pagan. So it was all around that time. I remember us all going to Ireland to see Charles Webster play live. I played with him at Sir Henry's in Cork. It was my 25th birthday. It was 26 years ago. So it's these long relationships. They're family. They're not friends. They're family.
Yeah. So did you know? We talked earlier privately about Before House.
Yeah.
Did you know Charles before then?
No.
So tell us a little bit about you being pre-house. You're a scratch DJ, hip hop.
I was a hip hop DJ, yeah. And I was really massively into trip hop more than hip hop, to be honest. I'm not such a huge rap fan, if you know what I mean. Not jazz rappers, we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Hi Rob.
Hi Rob. It's for me. It was more about the beats and the music and the jazz elements and some of the hip hop. I was really into Sunni MC Solar.
Yeah.
A lot of French hip hop for me really did it. I worked alongside Yellow Productions a little bit, did remix for Boss and Clar and people like that back in the day when he was writing more of the hip hop style stuff. Really into his band, The Mighty Bop, if anyone ever gets the chance to listen to The Mighty Bop.
I didn't realise that was him.
Yeah, so absolutely amazing work. A different world of what Bob Sinclair or Chris Lafrion, his real name, is doing now, obviously, but he was a real massive hero for me musically. Obviously, Mo Wax,
Rebirth of Cool.
all these kind of things. That's where my head was. I was into the kind of cooler side of the instrumental hip hop stuff. And then I heard Morning Factory and the rest is history. And that was it.
Go on, tell me about that.
I just heard Morning Factory, that was it. A friend of mine said, "Oh, have you heard this? It's by Ron Trent, Chez Damier." I was like, okay, what's it? I listened to the song Morning Factory and my life literally changed. I was like, I need to make music like this. What's it called? It's called Deep House. That's me then. I'm done then, I'm in.
Straight, that's it, trip hop done.
Saying that though, I can't ever leave it alone because my house music isn't just, everyday house music. It's a bit weird and wonky in its own special way, and it does relate to the jazz side of hip hop and the instrumental ideals behind that kind of sound back then. And I wouldn't be able to just survive doing house music. It has to be broken beat, it has to be jazzy, it has to be new soul, it has to be Dilla vibes, all these things all wrapped in one kind of special piece of wrapping paper, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, house music is definitely in there, like a big part of it, but it's not everything to me, yeah.
Okay. So, if it's not everything to you, you mentioned Pat Metheny.
Yeah.
You go really back into the jazz funk side of things as well.
I love jazz fusion, that's my thing. It's not so much jazz funk, it's not so much jazz, I really love jazz fusion. Like all those weird and wonderful bands like Weather Report and Chick Corea's Electric Band and all this kind of stuff. It really, I don't know, again, it's like that explorative stuff. It's the next stage for me, and it's not boring. It doesn't stop me. It doesn't send me to sleep. I find it super interesting. Also, so complex. I can't even understand it, which is another thing. I can't pull it apart. I just listen to it as songs. Yeah.
So, do you find yourself trying to emulate that subconsciously?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that is an absolute thing. I find that. Maybe it's a bit of an excuse as well, because I'm not a trained musician, so when it comes to jazz, I'm very, very loose on details. I don't know what I'm doing all the time. But if it's jazz fusion, then I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So, yeah, it allows me to be free. So there's like a lot of freedom in it.
Yeah. Okay. So how long has this album taken?
6.5 years.
Where'd you start? Where do you start with something? I mean, you said, okay, it was going to be 17. You knew where you were going to start with, but I
had a song with CO, which is on the album called Tentative. That was already written, and I wanted her to sing on this song because she owed me a talent swap. So I made a song for her album.
Okay.
She sings on my song for my album.
And Sia gives the people a little bit of background. So she's South African,
CO,
part of the Stay True
Sound. So she's an amazing singer, from South Africa. She's a wonderful person. She's an artist. She's a model. She's a real true artistic figure for me. I really like working with CO.
She's got quite a bit of the Badu about her.
Yeah, she has very Erykah Badu styles. But she's very. I remember having a conversation with her very early on in her career. We were at Spring Fiesta Festival, and I sat her down and I said, you've got a specific something about your voice and the way you write, the way you work, and you have to really be careful where you put that. Don't work with too many people, and you can be picky and choosy about how you really want to put it out there. And I think she may have taken it to heart because she's very particular with who she works with.
Yeah.
And she's got her crew, Dave Martian, and people like that, So yeah, she's a really cool cat. But yeah, she owed me the song anyway. So we finished the song Tentative all that time ago, really. It's been remixed and refixed and tidied up in all sorts of things since she did it. But that was the first song, and then I did Starbase 17. I wrote Starbase 17 because I wanted to do something that was a bit, again, nostalgic, a bit of an ode to Level 42 in a way, or things like this, where I wanted to use some very, very interesting chord structures and you know.
Was that the track we spoke about a while ago? And you mentioned it was based on a Level 42 track.
Yeah, it's a real big nod to It's Over.
That's the one.
It sounds nothing like it, but for me it does. It's got very similar chords and stuff like that. But it's quite an emotive piece of music for me. And then my brother had the Level 42 running in the family album when I was a kid. He had a CD player. It was amazing. And I used to play the CDs. That was a long time ago. Really showing age there. But yeah, listening to Level 42 was probably the first kind of fusion music I listened to, because they are a fusion, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it might be pop, but it's not. It's at the same time it's very high level kind of music.
No, the early stuff is just, and the stuff that they want to make rather than what they've been told to make.
So again, you know, it's respecting respecting what I've, you know, all the information I've garnered up from all the different lovely, wonderful places I've listened to music, and yeah, the album's laced with my memories, basically. Let's put it like that. Yeah.
When you say it's laced with your memories, that's quite a broad spectrum of something to say, because it's 6.5 years, and you're pulling in. I mean, look, Josh Milan is one of those people that if he walked into the room right now, I just wouldn't know what to say. I'd be burbling. Man. Omar, well, I've told you as well.
I
met Omar once and I couldn't speak.
On the phone, I can speak to him on the phone. I can't speak to him in real life. I get
Who, Josh?
Yeah. No, Omar.
Really?
I get way too starstruck in front of that man, yeah.
And yet he's coming to you asking to be on your album?
No, I asked him.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okie doke. And Max Beasley?
Yeah, Max is an amazing human being. I mean, you probably know Max more for his movies and his TV.
Hotel Babylon.
Yeah, Hotel Babylon. He's in Hijack with, what's his name? My brain's a bit tired today. Idris Elba. Yes, brain, well done. I've been a fan of Max Beasley's music for such a long time. Like, when he released his High Vibes record way back in
on
the
Atjazz,
day.
wasn't it?
On Atjazz, yeah. But he was playing with Jamiroquai and Incognito and all these other bands.
Brand New Heavies.
And he actually ended up playing drums for Take That on their tours. He plays piano for Robbie Williams on stage. He's done Lisa Stansfield. He does so much stuff. And I watched him from afar. I saw his acting career go crazy and really happy for him. But then every now and again, I saw him pull the vibraphones back out in his garage in LA, and I was like, I just wonder. So I messaged him on Instagram and I said, "Hey Max, massive fan of your work on screen and on stage. I don't suppose you still do vibraphone features on people's music?" And his answer was, "Yes mate, send me the song." And that was it. So I sent him the song, and a few days later he sent me the parts back. He never recorded himself ever. He always turns up at studios, big studios, with his instruments, and people record him. So he'd never done it. So this was in COVID as well, 2020 it was, I think, or 2020. And he went to his friend's shop with a mask on and borrowed 2 U87 microphones.
This is during COVID.
Yeah, 2 U87 microphones. His mate explained to him how you set the microphones up, and he recorded it all for me and sent it to me. And then I was like, "Do I need to speak to your management about paying you?" He was like, "Don't worry about it, mate. We're all struggling actors and musicians. Just give me a tenner." I was like, I didn't give him a tenner. I gave him a bit more than that. But he was such a lovely person to work with. I've got mad respect for Max Beasley. Yeah.
Right, here's a question for you then. Yet again, you've got all these people coming out of the deep house scene or the Afro house scene as an outlooker looking in, which I very much am. We see these people, yourself. I mean, I'm not going to call you a mate now, but yeah, get in there. The dogs love you anyway. You see people like, as I said, Josh Milan, Omar, all these other people, especially Josh. We were talking about Louis Vega, Ron Trent, and I'm not blowing smoke up his backside, but the launch party was at BBE weekend before, and Joe Clausell and Ron Trent, if you know Deep House, I don't need to explain to you who these guys are, showed up to say hi, give you a hug, and give you your props.
Yeah.
To us, they're deities. Okay?
They are to me. Yeah.
And they are to you as well. Do you not find perhaps Deep House is more a smaller community than people think?
very much a tiny place, yeah. And this is what I don't like, people taking big bites of the pie, because the pie's quite small as well.
Go on, elaborate on that.
Like DJs charging through the nose for gigs, making it look more than it is. Deep house, real deep house, not what some of the stores call deep house.
Yeah.
But real deep house is for people, by people, and it's called deep house because it's deep, it's emotional, it's a sensitive kind of music. The deep house these days is not the same music. So for people to abuse, in a way, the system of and the community and the scene, let's say, of deep house,
yeah,
I'm not too happy when people do that. I think people are definitely worth their weight in gold, but be reasonable. So I don't like seeing it abused. I don't like people taking too many big pieces of the pie. Leave some space.
Do you not find that there's probably sort of two cultures now going on? Francois Kevorkian said it. There's now a fork in the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where there's commerciality.
Yeah.
Which is, I suppose, going back to pop music,
yeah,
where people are just trying to make commercial content, and then you've got the art side, which is where you, Joe, Ron, Vic Lavender, I could go on.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and it's now splitting.
Yeah.
So where do you see the art going? The art's going to be. It gives it more longevity than this.
Yeah,
culture pop.
The internet's got a lot to answer for when it comes to the popularity of certain things for the wrong reasons again.
Yeah.
The money shots on Instagram of DJs having everyone's talked about it. I don't know if you're going about it, but like that 15 seconds of fame thing, where you get your mate with his decent camera to film you as your record kicks in that one time in a 2-hour set.
Yeah.
If you could be bothered to play 2 hours, that's not what this was meant to be. It's showing it in the wrong light, and it's more about the people wanting the attention than it is closing your eyes in a dirty dark club and playing music to people so they can close their eyes and actually escape and have a nice time.
Yeah.
I'm all for everybody being a DJ. I really am, but I just think that, and I know what you're going to ask me. I'm not into this kind of, I'm now a DJ because I want to be, and because I want to do what these guys were doing online.
Okay, right. So you did a Q&A on Instagram.
Yes.
Is this what you thought I was going to
Yeah.
say? And the most important question was from Osunlade. What's your favourite colour lipstick? We're not moving on to you, tell us.
Red.
Right, fantastic.
Straight up mid-red.
Okay, boots number 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Don't mind what brand it is.
Right, the second one was somebody asking about how to become a DJ.
Yeah.
And you said, and a lot of people I think will be able to resonate with this, especially at our age, you had to.
Yeah.
Go on.
So when I was younger, when I was still working it was very early doors, so I just started working at Core Design, but some of our friends lived in Lymington, Spa.
Right.
So me and my friend Bob used to drive down there on a Friday night and spend the weekend with them. We'd go to the nice pub, get some pizzas, stay up all night playing.
Explain Core Design, because you were making music for
that's another
situation.
story. Yeah. I used to be a composer for video games and sound effects designer, full motion video designer.
First person to meet Lara Croft.
Well, I was the person that created all of her original sound effects.
Yeah.
With a boot and a pretend gun.
Yeah.
For the holster sounds and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was a long time ago. It's 30 years.
Yeah.
It was 2006 when we released Tomb Raider 1.
Wow.
And the guy that owned the company actually lives in Bournemouth, randomly.
So you came from Core Design?
Yeah, so we just, like everybody did back then, we'd just go over, get the Nintendo and stay up all night, drinking booze and playing Street Fighter. But this was a bedroom in our friend's shared house. And behind us, they had something like this set up with turntables and a mixer and loads of vinyl. And they just used to play loads of trip hop, loads of jazzy stuff from Japan. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm in heaven here. Like, I'm with my best mates, I'm playing Street Fighter, I've just had a really nice pizza, and these guys are doing that. I really have to do that. You know, there wasn't the club culture now with all of this. It wasn't about that. It was the music, and I wanted to be in control of the music.
It wasn't even that cool to be a DJ back
I don't think it was. No, it was a bit
nerdy.
You know, first one on the dance floor gets a kiss from the DJ.
Yeah.
That, you know, one of them.
You want to go fast?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got to be careful as a DJ
Sure.
back then. Now it's dead cool. Everyone's doing it. But I felt like this was my next stage.
Yeah.
You know, from being a musician and a composer and a designer of sound and audio and being in that world, this had to be my next stage. I needed to be a DJ, and then I started watching DMC championships and got into beat mixing and scratching and juggling and stuff, and it was something I had to do. I had to do it. I was not going to do it. It was on the cards basically, and that led to me, because of playing the music, the next stage was, well, I'm not happy with just playing the music. I want to make the music that I'm playing. And that's when I started producing music for myself in a more, I guess, commercial sense, where I was making music for the plan of releasing it one day. So
Okay.
yeah.
So was this we then get you listening to the Morning Factory, Ron? You then meet up with the DIY crew? Were they the first ones to press you?
That was before, yeah, so my first release with DIY, in fact it wasn't my first release with DIY, my first release was an EP called Story EP. I released it myself. I got the same distributor as Yellow Productions.
Right.
So I always felt like I was really in the moods and shakes of it all. And then my friend Anthony, who appears on the album as well as a guitar player, he used to do all the guitars for me and record his own video game music as well. So I see him once in a while. He lives in Portugal now, but he said, you really have to send some of this stuff to some labels. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you mean. Don't need to copyright it. And I'll send it to myself in a jiffy bag. That's copyrighting it. All the things that everyone used to do back then, you know.
Yeah.
And he said, no, just send it to DIY. So I sent them a DAT tape, and then I get a phone call the next day saying, "Oh,
Big or Pete?
It was Pete, just asking me to do some music for them." So I did, and that's around the time I heard Morning Factory, and then I just found my own way through it really. I had Atari ST. Good old computer that was.
Was that after the Commodore Amiga? Was that after the Commodore Amiga?
Yeah. I was still using the Commodore Amiga at work to compose sounds, especially because we had to port things over to the Nintendo systems, and they were all tracker based. So just to code music. Ugh.
You still got the Atari?
I've still got the Atari from what I did all my early Atjazz stuff on.
Okay.
Atari ST.
Have you ever got it back out and just set up some MIDI just for a bit of
I
fun?
don't think I've got the discs for Cubase anymore. It was amazing. It was so tight. It was the tightest unit. And the Atari ST had MIDI ports on their actual computer.
Yeah.
So you could just plug your computer into any keyboard and it would be in sync.
This was pretty much, some of you guys here are probably too young to remember, but this is for flat screen.
Flat
screens.
My screen was black and white.
Yeah.
It was a black and white 14-inch CRT monitor, about this deep, you know.
So what
rubbish, but brilliant.
Okay, so you've got an Atari ST.
I haven't got the screen anymore.
Without getting nerdy,
Yeah.
too nerdy, you've got an Atari ST. What are your first pieces of equipment that you start making that leads you from DIY to your first label Mantis?
I bought a Moog Rogue, which is a little one oscillator synthesizer, very sought after these days. No idea, couldn't sync it up to my computer because it didn't have MIDI.
Right.
So I just had it on the side.
Didn't have a CD clock or anything like that, so it had nothing.
I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea how to do all that stuff. I do now. Obviously, I didn't then. No, what I did was I actually bought a Roland S750 sampler, which was the same sampler I used at work.
Okay.
So that had a TV. So you have a TV with it, and you literally have a mouse with the sampler, and you do all your sampling on a screen.
Okay.
It's like a
the old emulator.
So it's a poor man's like an emulator thing, yeah. But so I did that, and then Clyde Beast, I knew Clyde at this point. He said, "Why are you using a Roland for, you idiot? Why didn't you get an Akai?" Life changed again. When I bought my Akai S3000 XL, my life changed.
S3, right, that's not an MPC, that's a rack mount for the nerds.
It's a rack sampler, yeah.
So you're doing everything on the keyboard?
People doing an MPC, the big white unit with all the pads on it, it's an MPC. But it had the same brain in it basically, but the MPC has a sequencer as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when things really changed for me, is when I got that Akai S3000 XL. I still got it. It's amazing.
Is that all those samples that I might or might not have?
Yeah, some of them are probably from that, yeah.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
It's absolutely insane.
I don't own them.
But my first album was largely made just on that. I had a Korg 01W keyboard.
Yeah.
I had a Rhodes Mark 1. I actually managed to get my hands on a Rhodes piano and my Akai sampler and a small mixing desk and a couple of effects units.
So there's a thought going around at this moment in time called the 90s house theory.
Yeah.
Which is you have got, if anybody's ever seen photos of this man's studio, it's not a studio, it's more of a museum of synthesizers. It's, I think, who's the guy from Depeche Mode and Yazoo?
Vince Clarke.
Vince Clarke. I think Vince Clarke's only you're only second to Vince Clarke or somebody like that for the amount of synths that you've got.
No, I've not got that many. He's got way more.
He's
also got way more money than me, so that's why.
Yeah, that's a valid point. But you've got all this equipment.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You want, apart from the programming, you run all hardware. You can hear it in the sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like synthesizer plugins on my computer.
Have you ever fancied or perhaps even on the album, have you ever gone back to the 90s unit of, I'm only going to use two pieces here just for a bit?
I do it all the time, yeah. I limit myself sometimes because I get more creativity.
Yeah.
If I've got too much, I just make noise. If I've got a little, I make music. You know what I mean? So that's why I started my label, Less Than 10. I've got another record label called Less Than 10.
Yeah.
It's meant to be music, a whole song made in less than 10 running processes. Because the limitations make you work harder creatively. You've got to work around it all, you know.
Okay, so what sort of music's coming out on Less Than 10? Would you say it's more than a night? I haven't listened, so.
Well, it's electronic music.
Yeah.
From house music to a bit of techno or a bit of broken beat, and it's just not much different to what I released on Atjazz record company, but because of the limitations, I think the ideas are stronger.
Okay.
Well, I feel like the album, I've put a lot of energy into it.
And is it just you or is it other people?
It's Ocean Lade, me, Rocco, Fred, everything. So yeah, we've all done tunes on that. I've sent you a look at the first album.
No,
the whole album would work, yeah.
Yeah, well, can we post a thing underneath when we do this on YouTube?
Yeah, for sure.
Because that'd be interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew of it, I'd heard of it, but everybody knows you for Atjazz Record Company and Mantis.
Yeah.
So going on, you made your first album before Mantis or after Mantis? Mantis was his first label.
Mantis I started in 1995.
Okay.
I released my first release on Mantis in 1996.
Right, fifth quarter?
Fifth quarter was after. I did my Counters EP on DIY first.
Yeah.
Then I did fifth quarter.
Yeah.
And then I did my album That's Something on DIY Sublevel Diversions.
Right.
And
okay.
Sony in Japan. Yeah.
Okie doke. So tell us about the Mantis times a little. The good bits about the Mantis times.
Well, yeah, there was some bad bits.
Yeah.
Which is probably all you want to hear. Let's just talk about the bad bits. You don't
Should we talk about the bad bits? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I won't. In case he watches it. Anyway, Mantis was my first record label. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, but we had an office in London. So we did something well, which we rented off one of the guys from Basement Jacks. We did really well for a fledgling company back then, as in the amount of records that we were selling. We did some very, very good releases, and it was really hard back then to release music and get any return from it, whether that was like attention or money or what have you. I never made a penny out of Mantis, just for the record. I made some money through my publishing, but I never took any money from my record sales. But
it did make your name.
It was 13 years I had Mantis, yeah, 13 years. And when it closed down, I was like, oh my God, that feels like a lifetime. And looking back now, I've had Atjazz record company for 17.
Yeah.
Time literally flies. But you know, Mantis days were really good fun. I had a really nice studio. All the guys, Brooks and people like that, Rhythm Plate, used to come and use the studio. Ross lived with me for 6 months to do the first Magic Number album. So I produced that alongside him. It was just really cool. It was really nice to have that office studio situation where people could drop in and out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it felt a bit record label-y. You know, it was quite cool.
Yeah.
Things have changed a lot since then. But Mantis died in 2009. I knocked it on the head. It kind of died in 2006, and me and my friend Nick tried to keep it going. And it wasn't just the bad situation that broke the company. The company was struggling because of the industry changes. So when digital music was coming through, CD sales went.
I was going to say you were right in the middle of the sort of the vinyl devolution, as it were.
Devolution, yeah. So CD sales fell through. We had a distribution disaster with a company called Lymington in Germany. They went down, took all of our money and stock with them. So that was when I released Full Circle. So this is why Full Circle album kind of didn't work. It flopped, in fact, I would say. Yeah, some good songs on there with Robert Owens and people like that, but it kind of flopped. It didn't do half as well as Lab Funk or anything. So, and the reason was the distribution went down as I released it.
Oh.
I lost 10,500 CDs stock. There was a lot of money lost as well. And it was just too hard to get back from, really. We did get another distribution deal, but we just couldn't swing it back. The vinyl sales were dropping and we couldn't keep the office and stuff, so which knocked
You're saying
on
it's 2009, 2007?
2006 it kind of started to crumble, yeah.
Okay, so Traxsource started 2007?
Yeah.
Did you see
anything with
anything?
e-music and things like that, do you remember?
Yeah, the Stompy,
Yeah.
which was quite an early one.
Yeah.
Beatport was one of the early providers as well. I don't think Juno Downloaders started actually.
Mm-hmm.
How did it
It's
work?
really late, Juno.
Without getting, yeah, Juno Download was probably really late. Without getting too nerdy, how did you see it with the money coming in from the vinyl and the CDs? Did you start seeing anything coming in from digital, or was it almost game over for you?
But it was only in the hundreds, like the lower hundreds, like 300 quid a month or something for like digital sales for it.
Whereas previously it was, well, you said you never made any money out of it, but
no, I mean, if you sold 5,000 vinyl, you'd double figures of you know, you'd be talking like maybe 18, 20 grand off a release.
Yeah.
You know, but then we were pressing 300.
So at first, so 2006, 2007, you were pressing 5,000 per track? Per
Not
EP?
every release, we had to be very careful and measured about which you know, you get the feedback from the promotion and decide how many you're going to press. But yeah, most things we'd do 1,000 and see how it went. Some things we'd do 2,500. Some things we did 4, and then we'd repress for the 5, 6. You know.
Do you miss the curation of vinyl? The fact that it was not gatekeeping, but there was that quality filter with vinyl. People would only put certain things on vinyl.
Yeah.
I mean, now how many tracks does it get released on Traxsource or Spotify a week?
Oh, God knows. It's over 100,000 in it.
Yeah.
A week.
Do you
New songs.
So do you sort of miss those old days?
I miss the old days of how every single piece of music was super important. Yeah. I try and run my business like that.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to give you've got to keep up with the times and keep up with the speed that things get released.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hard to push music these days, especially because, you know, social media just cuts you off. You know, you have to spend money on social media and you don't even know really if that's turned into anything.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't miss those days per se because I'm still doing vinyl.
Yeah.
And I still get to do those projects.
April the 29th, isn't it?
27th.
April 27th, yeah, just hitting the vinyl.
My
Okay.
birthday.
This. Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be fun then.
52 this year.
You're only a young whippersnapper,
Yeah,
don't worry about
okay.
it, mate, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to Arco.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got 150 artists on there.
152 artists, yeah.
And I spoke to you about a year ago and you said I'm stopping at 100.
It's like the album, isn't it?
So what's driving you? Right, okay,
I can tell you
you're
very
Martin
easily.
Iveson.
Yeah, but I can tell you very easily what's driving me.
Go on.
I am so fortunate to have the job I have. I'm not giving it up. That's it.
Okay. So I remember you a couple of weeks ago, some guy from the Philippines had sent you something within half an hour you'd signed it.
Oh yeah, he's really good. I know I shouldn't, but I did, yeah.
No, I've heard
I said
that.
I wouldn't.
It's
I know
bloody
I
amazing, but
yeah. He's good, isn't he?
he's really
Yeah.
good. Is that happening a lot still for you, that you're
I
still
get
getting
sent a
that
lot of demos.
fire in your belly?
Sometimes I can't listen to every demo I get sent. I get sent about 10 demos a week.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but 10 demos a week. And when I've got 5 minutes and that email comes through, I'll check it. The rest of the time they get forgotten about because I haven't got time to check new music, and my business isn't about that either. I've not got a team of people going, right, we've gone through these, we've got this idea for these new releases. It's not about that. I've got to curate everything. I've got to be really passionate about what I put out. If I'm not, what's the point of me putting it out? I can't get behind something if I don't love it.
Mm.
So, yeah, I wish I could, in a lot of ways, sign more music, but I haven't got the capacity or the days of the week to release it.
I mean, how many releases do you put out a month?
It's 1 to 3, sometimes none, but then the next month will be 3. You know, it comes in fits and spurs sort of thing. But there's nearly 400 releases on the label now, so 394 or something.
And it shows no signs of stopping in any way, shape, or form.
Again, I don't have to work at Amazon.
No.
So,
producer, record label owner, bloke who last night had 2.5 hours sleep and then went and played a 3-hour set because he got his watch wrong and went on early.
oops.
Yeah, which was fun. But then you went and I've seen this man play quite a few times now, and I've seen some of the greats. And I gave up my set last night because you were absolutely, I'm not going to swear on camera, but I've never heard anything like that. I've never heard anybody
I needed it.
on 2.5 hours kit at 52 years old, soon to be 53. Or is it the other way around?
The other way around.
Oh, you'll be in your 53rd year, mate. I'm older than you, I can say that. But I've never, ever,
You're on my lunch.
ever, my missus cooking you dinner, stop it. I've never heard anything like what I heard last night. Apart from when you turned around at 1 a.m. to stop and then realised it wasn't 2 o'clock. Yeah,
No,
I know you've got another hour yet. So you've got all this passion, the DJing side of things. Is that what you do it all for, to just fuel into?
Last night was a good example of why I do it. I really enjoy being in a small room with 100 people, and everybody's on the same wavelength, and knocking around with everybody, and that's what Deep House was about for me. They're still about that. Yes, I've played some incredibly large shows in the past. You know, I've been down to Taung in South Africa twice for DJ Nation, and his crowd of 25,000 strong.
What's that like?
It's amazing, but it's.
What was the first time you did that like? 25,000 people?
I actually played with Charisma on the first one. So
Okay.
me and Charisma went out there together with DJ Christos and Ralph Gum. And it was just, the thing about that is, it's almost like you're DJing to nobody because you're so far away from people. Like the first people are where the big blue shutters are over there.
Okay.
They're that far away from you.
So you disconnected.
Because you're on the stage, then you've got all of this land with some security milling around, and then you've got the people that are over there behind a fence. You feel no connection at all, and you can't even hear them. You know, whether they're enjoying the music or not. You just got to go, well, I'll just do what I do there and hope for the best. You know.
Okay.
And I think a lot of bands have to go through that. Mosh pits are probably one of the best things in the world because, especially for a rock band or something, because at least the band's getting a bit of feedback.
Yeah.
You know, you're not getting feedback from people. Like last night, I was talking to someone about fish fingers and fish cakes.
Yeah, what was the fish cakes thing about? That was
I don't know. He said something. I said, "Did you just say fish cakes?" He went, "No, but let's go with fish cakes." I was like, "Fine, let's talk about fish cakes." But that conversation went on for half an hour. I couldn't do that at that festival, and I know I shouldn't be talking about fish cakes when I'm DJing, but it was fun. And it was that feedback and it's that connection and that human connection. I really, really, really admire people for wanting to be in that space with me.
Yeah.
Because, some people are like, oh, do you mind if I take a picture? Like, I'm just a normal person. I'm not one of those guys. Just let's get mucked in, Small parties for me with a really good sound system and everybody really enjoying themselves, all being on the same wavelength, is so much more fulfilling than getting paid a hell of a lot of money to go and play in front of 25,000 people. So much better for your life.
Being in the party.
Yeah. The party is the they're small here. A room this size is just the perfect size.
Connection versus disconnection.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So where's your favourite spot?
You know,
You've got to have one in the past, say.
Corsica Studios.
Yeah.
Corsica Studios and then Elephant and Castle in London. Probably it's sadly closing. Is my favourite venue I think I've ever played because of the sound. It's a function one in a tiny dark room with a very low ceiling. One wall is an entire wall of bass bins, and it's not loud. It's just big. And it means that the music can really speak properly. The people it's so dark in there, you can hardly see anything. And you only get about 150 people in.
So we're talking about going back to the old times where people aren't all looking at you, trying to Instagram you. I've seen the place. It's just a red light.
There's hardly any phones in there. You don't see anything. You know, I've not taken a single picture in there. Not of myself. Not, hey, look at me with all these people. Like me more. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was very blatant, wasn't it? But that's actually what it is.
It is Sunday afternoon. You won't have much sleep, mate. So I'll give you that one.
No, you know, there's some really lovely venues around. Corsica Studios is easily the best of them for me. I've played some amazing venues all over the world, in Nagano in Japan. And
okay, talk to me about Japan, because that's closest thing to being off of this planet, isn't it?
It is and it isn't. I love Japan. It's a really amazing country, and people are really up for it. They really enjoy themselves. They really love the music. They really connect with it. They're very honest. You know, nobody turns up that doesn't want to be there. You know, everyone's on the same wave.
Are they as obsessive as South Africa?
South Africa is its own thing, man. You can't equal it to anything else.
Go on.
The first time I went to South Africa in 2011, I had a remix out by Musaria and Saturna. It was called Moment. And before I went, Ralph Gum was DJing on this balcony. I don't know, 1,000 people beneath him, and he said, "Be careful when you come over here because your song's just taken off." And I was like, it was massive. It was like one of the big ones, basically. And I turned up in South Africa. I went to Pretoria and played at a place called House 22. And my friend Gobbs took me there in his car, and he said, "Wait in the car." There were people climbing on the car to get to me. It was really weird.
What?
Yeah, they don't do
talking
that in Lymington.
We're talking Beatlemania.
It was a bit wild, yeah. And then Gobbs is a big lad, lovely guy. He's a big lad, a big bear. He just bundles me under his coat and just drives me through the crowd to get to the back. And Julian was stood there. First time I met Julian.
Okay, yeah, that's another story. We'll go on with that.
And but I turned around, and the sea of people was insane. It was, you know, House 22 wasn't a big place, but you'd get 1,000 people in there.
Yeah, big enough.
1,000 people in a small space is a lot. It feels a lot, you know. And I remember they hadn't heard the refix I'd done a moment. No one had, because it hadn't been released. But I had it, and I played it, and it was, the screams from the people were so loud you couldn't hear the music and the sound system anymore. It was like standing like next to a jet engine.
Yeah, but what goes through your head,
I turned
your stomach?
I turned to the side, I looked at Ross, and Ross went like that, and then I looked behind Ross, and this guy looked at me and went, and he was like, "Oh, you're going to cut my throat then? That's wonderful." Yeah. And yet someone went, no, it means you're killing it. You're doing a good job." I was like, oh, jolly good. I'll just get on with playing my music then, shall I? It was really weird. Sinbad was there, DJ Tibbs was there. It was really nice. It kicked off that night.
And that's the night you met your little brother?
Yeah, my little Julian.
Low-Res Gomez.
Low-Res Gomez in the house.
Go on, because there's some... after what I saw last night, I've also seen you and Julian play.
Yeah.
Not in blow smoke up your backside, but that is on a different world as well. It goes down into... I mean... Wow.
I think
what's that a cappella you guys playing? Everybody in Hootenanny was singing it. I want you, Love Song 28.
Yeah.
And you both stood there, and there's people from 20 to 40
we do the
years
breakdown
old
thing, yeah.
with the breakdown. Myself and my best mate Mark, who I brought with me, he drank all the rider, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
I stood there like...
It wasn't much of a rider, let's be honest about it.
It was still my rider. With our mouths open. I've never seen anything. I mean, I'm 40 years house this year. I got in the house in '86. I ain't seen anything like that.
But then we did it the first time in Cape Town. One Foot in the Groove. It was really cool party. It's like a massive club where you can move the stage forward and backwards to change the capacity.
I've heard about this. Yeah.
Really cool place. And when we did it there, there's a video actually. I'll put it in the description. There's a video of me and Julian playing Love Song 28 because I'd just done the remixes of it. So essentially, what he was doing, he had the acapella of Love Song 28, and you get the. And we loop it, we just leave it, and everyone's going.
Yeah, but you leave it for minutes.
Yeah, we leave it for a long time.
You do that in Bournemouth. Everyone's
really,
going to the bar.
Well, it's really risky, but the return when the beat kicks in, that's a real straight emotional moment. Like everyone just locks in with you. When the beat came in, the camera that we were being recorded on starts shaking because of the noise and the stomping in the room. People are throwing water at us and throwing money.
Where was this?
In Cape Town.
Right.
It was like, again, it was just that crazy sound. People screaming at the top of their voice to this loop of and the new beat from my remix of Love Song 28 coming in. So it was a little bit of a party trick for us. But we can get away with it there.
Yeah, but even in Brixton, people from 20 to 40 plus years old were all stood there in case some cameras came out, but they're all bang.
Yeah.
They were tuned in. No one was going to the bar. Nobody was going out for a cigarette. It was a concentration that only very few DJs can get, where you've got them in the palm of your hand. And it's a bloody risky move.
It really is risky because you can go wrong.
So have you and Julian got to that? Because it's you are a completely different person when you're playing with Julian. It's a different sound completely. It's the SA sound.
Well, we've got quite a lot of songs together, remember? So we tend to play each other's tunes.
Was it Hotel, the album? Hotel something that you did with Julian?
Oh no, Big Bad Crazy.
Big Bad Crazy, which
we've
got
Big Bad Crazy. We've got The Gift that Curse. Also Julian's albums. So he did an album on my label with Love Song 28 on all of his singles. Then he's got his Poison album and his Bruno and the Birds albums. We're rich with music when we play together.
Yeah.
But he's such a home DJ. I mean, Julian will play 6 gigs in the weekend.
He moves quick, doesn't he?
Yeah. When I went to South Africa in November, he was busy. I was left at home with Tandy, his wife. We were just drinking red wine and watching soap operas on the TV, while Julian was off DJing everywhere, you know.
So, moving on then, we've covered all of that. What's happening for you this year?
Well, I've got this out. Hopefully that'll drag itself and me with it through the year. I'm doing the house of Starbase 17, so I can service Traxsource and Beatport and places like that. Then I've got the Sarai Jazz album, which I've nearly finished producing, which is like a new soul, neo soul album, which is really lovely. So I'm looking forward to putting that out. We've got Alexander Flood's remix album. There's so much. Tom Hawkbang album. Okay. A new Oyobi album as well.
Okay. There's one thing you haven't mentioned.
What?
Your Top Trunks cards.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Starbase 17 Top Trunks.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
So
how's that going to work?
It's called Starbase 17 Card Clash.
Okay.
And is because of the amount of artists on the label and trying to figure out ways of, marketing myself and marketing the album. So I've generated characters, lookalikes-ish.
Yeah.
Some of them are better than others. You get the idea when you see the pictures. But I thought, oh my God, we could do top trumps. There's that many people. So I did. So I'm producing 500 packs of cards in 55 cards. And yeah, there's things like, how many spacewalks people have done. It's just top trumps basically.
Yeah.
But I can't use the word top trumps, honestly.
You can't use the word top trumps.
Not even on this video I can use the word
okay,
top trumps.
We'll beep it.
Yeah.
We'll beep it out.
The word beep beep.
Yeah.
All the way through it. So yeah, that's coming.
What about gigs?
Gigs, yeah, I'm all over the place. I've turned down a few because I've got to stay. I want to stay home with my family a bit. I don't look like I hate travelling. It's not glamorous, man.
So this man, I thought it was glamorous until we had a conversation in Camden about your favourite sleeping bag.
Oh yeah, things like that. Yeah, bringing your sleeping bag to sleep on your mate's floor, things like that.
Yeah.
ain't no four-star hotels for me.
So people think it's a glamorous.
It's not. No, that's part of the Instagram thing. Private jets and posh hotel rooms with only that person in the hotel room with these amazing pictures of that person taking pictures of themselves in that posh hotel room. And you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just it's not real.
Apart from probably Louis and a couple of others.
Oh, they're different. They're different artists. They are real. End of story.
Still people you call mates though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is surreal.
It's surreal to me.
Yeah. So if you're staying close at the home, what are you up to?
Martin Iveson album as well.
So what's that? Why is that different to Atjazz?
It's my freedom. I can do what I want. I don't have to please anybody. I'm just there just to make music. It helps me progress. It helps me grow musically as well. I can do literally whatever I want.
Yeah.
If I sell one download, I don't care. If I sell none, I don't care. It was never a money-making project. It's my art. At the end of the day,
this is the stuff that you sit down and meditate to, rather than I'm going to make a track.
We all need something that we enjoy doing, and sometimes doing the Atjazz stuff, it's work. It is my job.
Yeah.
So when I go and make an Atjazz remix for somebody, which I've got some nice remixes this year actually, I'm going to work. It's what I get paid for. I do going to DJ gigs. It's what I get paid for. Releasing music is what I get paid for. Martin Iveson is my art project basically. It's for me.
Okay.
That's it. But some of my best music.
And you're going to share it still. You're going to share it.
Yeah. Well, there's loads of it out there. Yeah, there's loads of it out there.
Yeah.
It's just there's more coming. Yeah.
Okay. Going out and playing. You're doing We Out Here for the first time.
I'm doing We Out Here. So we holidayed in Lymington last year, myself, Amanda, and the boys. And that's where we came to Coffee Mongers for the first time.
Shout out to Garfi for having us.
Yeah, shout out to Garfi. Thank you so much. So we're going to be in the area for 10 days in the summer in August and playing Giles Peterson's We Out Here festival, which was nice. I played Worldwide Festival a few times down in Sète in France, which is really nice. It's such brilliant productions, honestly. The quality of act and experience is so high. Yeah, it's an important year for me, and I said to Giles, there's a room for a little one at We Out Here. He was like, come on.
Brilliant. Southport weekend in a couple of weekends time?
I'm not playing Southport for a little bit.
You've always been at Sunset Beat?
Always at Sunset Beat. Not playing Sunset Beat this year. So it's one or the other. One out of two. It's greedy, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Again, it's really important because of the album, so I get to display the album to lots of people, which is a really big deal for me, and that's how I've done my marketing on the album. I haven't sent it to every single DJ to get a 4 out of 5 great music, or not for me. I'm not interested in that information.
Yeah, you've had some pretty good feedback.
No,
it's Spoonie.
But I serviced BBC Radio and Jazz FM. Basically, this is where I wanted my music playing, because although this loop that's been going on for about an hour, there are some house tunes on the album, but largely it's a soul album, so it deserves the radio. It's made for radio, and it's proved itself that it's made for radio. So
you've had Giles
Peterson, John Supernova,
Spoonie.
all the Jazz FM guys. Spoonie was out. Jamie Cullum. Spoonie went out on a limb and really, really, gave me some love a couple of weeks ago. Song of the Week on BBC Radio 2 on his show.
Yeah.
So that was lovely. That was Shine featuring the amazing Mona Ray. I'll play that in a minute actually. So I've had a lot of love off radio, but I do really genuinely love these people. They're the people I go to listen to on the radio. So if I'm being played by them, it's like double whammy for me.
It's a bit of a bonus, isn't it?
And I have to say this as well. Back in December, Giles was the first person to play a song, because I always service Giles first, because he's always looked after me. He's been a fan of my music for 30 years, and he's always played my music on his shows. Well, every single DJ on BBC and Jazz FM, they've not just said, "Oh, here's a new one by Atjazz." They've talked about the album and the song, the amount of songs and where to get it, and they've really looked after me, And I just felt like sometimes people take these people for granted, and I didn't want to take them for granted. I wanted them to have the cream pie this time,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't take them for granted at all. They help
No,
us
you don't.
so much. So yeah,
No, you've been very lucky on it.
yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us about?
Quite hungry.
You're quite hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
Not really. I love Lymington, by the way. So we stayed in the Quay last year, and we saw a dolphin. Sorry,
Git. I've lived there 40 years, I haven't seen a dolphin.
we saw that. I don't know whether you heard there was a dolphin in the Quay last year in August. And my son was looking out of the window over the Quay playing his iPad, and he went, "What's that?" And we all ran to the window, splashed up against the window, and then the crowd started to gather.
The dolphin was up against the window?
No, we were.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, it's been a long day.
The dolphin was in our flat with us. Kate walked up the
Sat
stairs
in the
with his
corner,
legs.
did
We ran downstairs.
How long's this bloody album? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. You're not even meant to be in it, you're a dolphin. We ran downstairs and everyone was going, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" And it was just doing this. And the Quay was so amazing. And people that lived there hadn't ever seen one.
Yeah.
People that actually from Lymington were like, "Never seen a dolphin."
Yeah, you got there by accident, not on purpose.
Yeah, he got stuck basically. Oh God.
Sorry, mate. It's
really?
been a long day.
Oh, he did actually get there
Yeah.
by accident. Yeah, he got stuck, and then the next morning the Coast Guard had to come and kind of, and then he went nah. We went back again. It took him hours to get rid of it because it would just get stuck in there and it would die or something. I don't know.
Right. We'll have to come back and do a barbecue when you're back down in the summer.
Yeah, but yeah, I really love this place. I really like yeah, I love Dorset. I love the New Forest. My first time in the New Forest last year, really. I'm just blown away by it. I do like England.
That's work, doesn't it?
It's an alright place sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Thanks for listening.
thanks,
I hope it
ladies and
wasn't too
gentlemen.
boring.
Yeah, I really apologise. Well, we are very old and very tired today after last night and the night.
I feel alright. I've had a couple of Negronis.
Yeah, you're okay. I've got to drive you. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin, Atjazz,
Thanks a lot. I'll play it for you. Cheers.